Hey everybody, Chris here. Are we seeing some bearish momentum for Dogecoin? We're going to talk about that in this video. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel, hit that little notification bell too. You can be notified when new videos come out as well as when I do live streams. We were live on Sunday afternoon and we were looking at the charts and watching what was going on as well with Iran and Israel and what's coming up this week with the Fed and the FOMC meeting, and none of that is really positive for the crypto market, although the markets actually aren't doing too bad despite those bearish sets of news. And we're seeing in the stock market, and US stock market hasn't quite opened yet as I'm recording this, but we are seeing a little uptick as well. So overall, the idea is there is some positive movement, but Doge still kinds to be bearish. So let me be a bear today. Let's go into it. Let me show you the charts of the news. I'll show you what I'm looking at. We start here looking at the current Dogecoin chart. We're at 1769. That's right, 1769. And we're in the green, right? Up 0.8%. And you'd think, hey, this is great, right? We're in the green. Let's go, right? Well, it is the summer of chop, right? As we've been talking about, up and down, up and down. But Dogecoin up, less than a point. Bitcoin is up 1%. ETH is up 2.5%. And Solana is up 2.5%. And what I'm looking at here is when we see usually the market's in the green, Dogecoin is outperforming those. But here's Doge. Let me zoom out just a little bit. Doge touched 18 cents here on Friday and has not reclaimed that level. Where Bitcoin at 106.8 now is actually moving up from where it was on Friday. ETH also over 2,600, moving up from where it was on Friday. Solana as well, moving up quite a bit from where it was on Friday. So typically, Dogecoin is outperforming these in green markets. And this weekend, past weekend, as now we come into Monday here, Doge isn't doing as well. So a little bearish. Yeah, Chris is a little bearish here. So does this mean we're going to see a big dump and we're going to be able to buy down lower on the dips? Maybe. I know some of you are still waiting for that juicy like 15-cent Doge or even lower. I don't know how low was kind of a realistic window for us to look at, but we'll continue to watch that. But yeah, it's a little bearish. I mean, again, the stock market hasn't opened yet. The futures, though, are up 0.6%, 0.7%, and even the Russell is up over 1%. Pre-market. So the stocks, they started a little bearish last night in open futures, and I was looking, yeah, it looks like it's going to be a little red, and they turned around and going green. Now we are looking for what's going to happen on Wednesday with the FOMC, and now they're turning their attention to the dot plot, right? We'll talk more about the dot plot, but that's basically where all of the commissioners on the FOMC, because it's not just Chirpao, right? It's not just Jerome, it's like there's a whole board of commissioners, and they all post where they think rates are going to be in future FOMC meetings, because we all know they're not going to lower interest rates this Wednesday. I mean, that's just it's just not happening, and the markets will still react, and there'll be that kind of little volatility there always is. But what is the dot plot going to be? And that is going to be where the commissioners see future rate cuts. Is there going to be one remaining in 2025 or two or maybe three? Not many people are looking at three, so there can maybe two. But if some of the commissioners are bearish and only have one rate cut in 2025, that would be a hawkish kind of commission looking at the future. And so that's coming on Wednesday. We also have tariff still, the EU with this 10% US tariff. We'll see what happens there. And then, of course, what's happening with oil, with the Iran and Israel attacks. Right now, they're kind of avoiding the big oil fields, right? And so energy prices are still down, which is good, but, that could always break into something bigger too. So, but yeah, U.S. stock futures rise as Israel-Iran nerves ease. Is this thing coming to an end? Which I said last week, I don't think this is going to be like a 1 week thing. It's not going to turn into World War III or anything like that. But you see a lot of other YouTubers like sowing like this FUD out there. World War III, look out, right? No, no, no. With Bitcoin's move up, though, taking out shorts. There were a lot of people shorting Bitcoin because they thought, kind of as I did on Sunday as well, that like markets were going to head down because of the bad news. And instead, they brought the Bitcoin price up, or somebody's buying Bitcoin, right? It's MetaPlanet and it's these others, right? Buying. So big companies, institutions, governments buying Bitcoin. Bitcoin goes up and they're taking out a bunch of shorts. Yeah, there's still a bunch of longs down here right below 104. And there's still maybe some dips this week to come down and grab that liquidity down there. But yeah, Bitcoin been taking out quite some liquidity above the price action during the weekend. The hedges that build up into it. Below 104K is a level to watch if price were to roll over. FOMC on Wednesday as well. Keep that one in mind. So that is the volatility that we have. And we always look at these heat maps in a little more detail on my live stream. So make sure that you're subscribed. You got your notifications on. Join in on the lives because we expand all of our discussion to go pretty wide on finances and investing and all of that as well. So make sure you join in on the live streams as well. Meanwhile, Michael Saylor, he's like, bigger dots are better. He posted this on Sunday, which means there's probably going to be a big dot here today. Saylor with MicroStrategy, Strategy B, right, is going to make another big Bitcoin purchase. So they keep buying. MetaPlanet is buying. More companies talking about buying Bitcoin. I mean, GameStop, right? Buying Bitcoin. Somehow that stock tanked last week. And so I'm in the middle of the swing trade on GameStop, but we'll see whether it recovers this week as well. But Ali is like, okay, we had this little run here over the weekend, good for Bitcoin, but the TD sequential indicator flashed a sell signal. That's right, we've got Ali now being a little bearish as well. Bitcoin on the hourly chart anticipating a pullback for Bitcoin. So Bitcoin came up over 107. The TD sequential on the hourly flashed a sell signal. And then Bitcoin is now down to 1067. So it did top out right there. So kind of interesting. That's what Ali showed. Being a little bearish as well. He said on short term though. Now, as far as Doge, one of the things that we talked about over the weekend that I'm still been thinking about is this whole thing about stablecoins. We talked about Dogecoin adoption and using Dogecoin as a currency and all of that. And that really to make a difference, Dogecoin have to be accepted by the big retailers and the big like fast food chains and things like that. We talked about Walmart and Amazon, but they're exploring issuing their own stablecoins. And the Alva AI says, look, if these giants roll out their own USD-backed coins, we're staring at a retail payments revolution. Think instant settlements, lower fees. I mean, that's what we want Dogecoin to be used for, right? But if these guys are making their own stablecoins with blockchains and getting into the technology that way and not with Dogecoin, that's not great. That's not great. The sentiment is bullish, though. Crypto Twitter loves the legitimization angle, wider mainstream adoption. So the big picture is all good, but it's still stable coins, right? And what are stable coins tied to? They're tied to the dollar, right? And it's just like, this is this inflating like piece of paper here that is worth less and less and less every day, every week, every month, every year. It's worth less. And we get all the retailers now making their own stable coins, right? Because they think like that's cryptocurrency, and that's like total opposite. So that's not great, but it's out there, right? I'm just saying that we've been talking about stablecoins for a while, the whole Genius Act and what the United States Congress is looking at, and so we'll continue to explore that while House of Doge still is making partnerships and talking about Dogecoin adoption. We'll see if that really grows into something big or not on the Dogecoin side. But yeah, Chris is still a little bit bearish. Dogecoin slips below 18 cents. That's where we're on Friday, right? Holders exiting? Not really. I think it's just I think it's just, again, kind of a short-term thing. Is 15.7 cents the next stop? Doge is showing signs of a bearish reversal after dipping below 18 cents. And not significant selling activity, but it is down a bit. The network realized profit loss metric has spiked, indicating that profit taking is putting pressure on Doge's price. Breaking key support levels, currently trading about 17.6. Bearish indicators suggest further declines. So a potential bounce back above 18 could occur, but it would require a shift in market sentiment, reduced selling pressure. So that's what we'll be looking at this week with Doge, but I think it's going to be in this red box here for quite a while, and it's going to bounce up and down. And so, again, this is summertime, right? And this is what you would expect. We do have some bulls, though, like Dogecoin price rebounding. Again, after the sort of that double dip at 17 cents, could be coming up. Could we reclaim 20 cents? I think it's a little premature to be talking quite that level yet, but 20 cents would be a great psychological level to have in mind. We do have a lot of open interest, meaning there's still a lot of leverage traders betting on Doge going up, more longs than shorts, even though some longs did just get wiped out in the latest pullback. We were looking at that again on the liquidations during the live stream, and we'll check in on that again. Millions of dollars of long leverage trades get wiped out. We had some shorts as price was going up, but more on Bitcoin, ETH, and Solana than Doge over the weekend is what happened. But Trader Allen, he's always positive, right? Dogecoin consolidating for an uptrend. The angles of the consolidation suggest either an uptrend or downtrend. It's like, wait, what? The angles of the consolidation suggest either an uptrend or a downtrend. Oh, that's Allen, come on, dude. We know it's summertime. It's just going to chop. I think it's neither. We're just going to go out of this sideways with some up and down action, and it's not going to be any huge thing. Is where I'm looking. And he's like, oh, short term. Look, we got this Adam and Eve like chart here over the past few days. Up to 18, back down to 17, and it's just like Adam and Eve, and what's the next move? Up to 19 cents? It's like, no, slow down. Slow down, Ellen. Not quite there yet. But yet the bigger picture, again, as you zoom out, and, you see these patterns, right? The shakeout up, shakeout down, shakeout up. We've had a double shakeout down. Where's the next move? Well, on this move, right, it did move up temporarily. We had this run up here earlier in June, and then it tanked down. So again, it's going to be a choppy summer, guys. That's what it is right now. And I'm going to be a little bearish, like I said, and that's kind of where we are, keeping it real. There could be some buying opportunities for Doge on some dips, though, as well as some other cryptos. We'll keep an eye on that as well. Let me know in the comments below. Are you feeling bearish? You a little bear? Give the video a like. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I appreciate the support. We'll see you next time.